Shalom. Be reading from the book of Isaiah. Book of Isaiah, chapter 21 through 25. Bear with me as I try to get through this. Y'all willing? Book of Isaiah, chapter 21, verse 1. The message concerning the wilderness of the sea, as whirlwinds in the south sweeps on, so it comes from the wilderness, from an awesome land. Verse 2. A distressing vision is revealed to me. The treacherous betrays, and the ravager ravages. Go up, O Elam, besiege, O Media. All the groaning I bring to an end. Verse 3. Therefore, my loins are filled with anguish. Pangs have seized me like the pangs of a woman in labor. I was distressed when I heard it. I was troubled when I saw it. Verse 4. My heart reeled. Horror overwhelmed me. The night for which I longed, he turned into fear for me. Verse 5. Prepare the table. Spread the mat. Eat and drink. Arise, you princes. Anoint the shield. Verse 6. For Yahuwah has said this to me. Go, set a watchman. Let him declare what he sees. Verse 7. And he saw a chariot with a pair of horsemen, a chariot of donkeys, and a chariot of camels. And he listened attentively, very attentively. Verse 8. Then he cried, a lion. O Yahuwah, I stand continually on the watchtower in the daytime, and I have sat at my post every night. Verse 9. And see, this, a chariot of men coming with a pair of horsemen. And he spoke up and said, Babel is fallen, is fallen. And all the carved images of her mighty ones he has broken to the ground. Verse 10. Oh, my threshing and the grain of my floor, that which I have heard from Yahuwah of hosts, the Elohim of Yisrael, I have declared to you. Verse 11. The message concerning Dumah, he calls to me out of Seir. Watchman, how much of the night is past? Watchman, how much of the night has passed? He said this twice. Verse 12. The watchman said, morning came, and also the night. If you inquire, inquire. Come again. Verse 13, the message concerning Arabia. In the forest in Arabia, you stay. O you traveling companies of Dendanites. Verse 14, you who dwell in the land of Tema, bring water to him who is thirsty. Meet the fugitive with bread. Verse 15, for they fled from the swords. from the drawn sword, from the bent bow, and from the stress of battle. Verse 16. For thus Yahuwah has said to me, within a year, according to the year of a hired man, all the esteem of Kedar shall come to an end. Verse 17. And the rest of the number of archers, the mighty men of the peoples of Kedar, shall be few, for Yahuwah, Elohim of Yisrael, has spoken. So, yeah, the Most High has spoken, gave a word to Kedar, basically concerning all sorts of, nations, the Dedanites, the land of Arabia. Yeah, and basically what I got out of it, Babylon is falling. It's falling. Exclamation mark. Chapter 22, verse 1. The message concerning the valley of vision. What troubles you now, that you have all gone up to the housetops? Verse 2. You who are filled with turmoils, a noisy city, a city of revelry. Your slain are not slain with the sword, nor the dead in battle. Verse 3. All your rulers have fled together. Without a bow, they were taken captive. All who are found in you are bound together, who have fled from afar. Verse 4. Therefore I said, look away from me. Let me weep bitterly. Do not try to comfort me because of the ravaging of the daughter of my people. Verse 5. For it is a day of uproar and treading down in perplexity by the master Yahuwah of hosts in the valley of vision. Breaking down of a wall and of crying to the mountain. Verse 6. And Elam bore the quiver with chariots of men and horsemen, and Kir bare the shield. Verse 7. And it shall be that your choicest valleys shall be filled with chariots, and the horsemen shall take up positions at the gate. Verse 8. Then he removed the covering of Yehuda, and you looked in that day to the weapons of the house of the forest. Verse 9. And you saw the breaches of the city of Dawid, that it was great, and you gathered together the waters of the lower pool. Verse 10. And you counted the houses of Jerusalem, and the houses you broke down to strengthen the wall. Verse 11. And you dug a ditch between the two walls for the water of the old pool, but you have not looked to its maker, nor have you seen him who fashioned it long ago. So he's speaking on a pool that was fashioned long ago by the Most High, but they didn't appreciate it. They didn't look to the one who fashioned it. Obviously, the Most High speaking through Isaiah, like, yeah, that was me. That be me. I did that long ago. Verse 12. And in that day, the master Yahuwah of hosts called for weeping and for mourning, for baldness and for girding with sackcloth. Verse 13. Then see, joy and gladness, killing oxen and slaying sheep, eating meat and drinking wine. Let us eat and drink, for tomorrow we die. This is where that famous quote, a lot of non-biblical authors and non-biblical directors and writers of movies scripts like to add this in to their to the to the script of their actors or actresses. Like this, they steal a lot from the Bible, and this is one. This is another one that they stole from the scriptures. Let us eat and drink, for tomorrow we die. I'm sure y'all heard that in one of the movies in the past or whatever. But yeah, this is a good verse. I kind of like that verse because it says, "Then see joy and gladness, killing oxen and slaying sheep, eating meat and drinking wine. Let us eat and drink, for tomorrow we die." This is how most people feel. This is what most people do. They enjoy themselves because tomorrow, they may not be here. Verse 14, and it was revealed in my hearing by Yahuwah of hosts, for this is crookedness. For it was revealed in my hearing by Yahuwah of hosts, for this crookedness shall certainly not be pardoned until you die, said the Master Yahuwah of hosts. So I don't know if the Most High was speaking against that. You know what I mean? Yeah, because he called for mourning. The Most High called for weeping and mourning. The Most High called for weeping and for mourning, for baldness and for girding with sackcloth. But instead, he was seeing joy and gladness and killing oxen and slaying sheep and eating meat and drinking wine. And you know what I mean? He was calling for people to humble themselves, and in return, he was getting people, acting up, acting out, and showing off and showing out. You know what I mean? Yeah, so it's like, this is wild. That I gotta make sure I correct this, because this is what was asked of them. It's for them to humble themselves. But instead they got this in return. Instead, the Most High got this in return. People, having it their way. And it was revealed in my hearing by Yahuwah of hosts, for this crookedness shall certainly not be pardoned until you die, said the Master Yahuwah of hosts. Verse 15, thus said the Master Yahuwah of hosts, go, come to this steward, to Shebna, who is over the house, and say, verse 16, what have you here, and whom have you here, that you have hewn a burial site here, as he who hews himself a burial site on high, inscribing a resting place for himself in a rock. Verse 17, see, Yahuwah is hurling you away, O man, and is firmly grasping you. Verse 18, rolling you up tightly like a ball into a wide land. There you are to die, and there your esteemed chariots are to be the shame of your master's house. Verse 19, and I shall drive you from your office, and you shall be ousted from your position. Yeah. Verse 22. I'm sorry, verse 20. So we're going to see some oustings out of positions. Like, I don't know if I want to say this is speaking of a time in the time of Isaiah, but this could also be speaking of a time in today. Verse 20. And it shall be in that day that I shall call my servant Eliakim, son of Hilkiah, So he's saying in that day. So this, whenever in that day we hear in that day or read in that day, this is a day of the future. Whenever Isaiah or any prophet is speaking about, says the words in that day. Verse 21, and I shall put your robe on him and strengthen him with your girdle and give your authority into his hand. And he shall be a father to the inhabitants of Jerusalem and to the house of Yehuda. Verse 22, and I shall place the key of the house of David on his shoulder, and he shall open and no one shuts, and shall shut and no one opens. Verse 23, and I shall fasten him like a peg in a steadfast place, and he shall become a throne of esteem to his father's house. Verse 24, and they shall hang on him all the weight of his father's house, the offspring and the offshoots, all vessels of small quantity, from the cups to all the jars. Verse 25, in that day declares Yahuwah of hosts, the peg that is fastened in the steadfast place shall be removed and be cut down and fall, and the burden that was on it shall be cut off, for Yahuwah has spoken. Verse 23, chapter 23. Verse 1, the message concerning Sor. How, you ships of Tarshish, for it has been destroyed without house, without harbor. From the land of Kittim, it has been revealed to them. Verse 2, be silent, you inhabitants of the coastland, you merchants of Sidon who passed over the sea. They filled you. Verse 3, and on great waters, the grain of Shihor, the harvest of the river, was her increase, and she was a marketplace for the nations. Verse 4, be ashamed, O Sidon, for the sea has spoken, the stronghold of the sea, saying, I have not labored, nor brought forth children, neither have I reared young men, brought up maidens. Verse 5, like the report of Misraim, they too are grieved at the report of Sor. Verse 6, pass over to Tarshish, wail, you inhabitants of the coastland. Verse 7, is this your city of revelry, whose antiquity is from days of old, whose feet carried her far off to sojourn? Verse 8, who has counseled this against Sor, the crowning city, whose merchants are chiefs, whose traders are the esteemed of the earth. Verse 9, Yahuwah of hosts has counseled it, to defile the pride of all splendor, and to shame all the esteem of the earth. Verse 10, overflow through your land like the river, O daughter of Tarshish. There is no more strength. Verse 11, he has stretched out his hand over the sea. He shook the reins. Yahuwah has given a command against Canaan to destroy its strongholds. Verse 12, and he said, never again shall you exalt, O you oppressed maiden, daughters of Zidon. Arise, pass over to Kittim. Even there you shall find no rest. Verse 13, see, the land of Kasdim, this people did not exist. Ashur founded it for wild beasts of the desert. They set up their siege towers. They demolished her palaces and made her a ruin. Verse 14, how, you ships of Tarshish, for your stronghold is laid waste. Verse 15, and in that day it shall be that Sor is forgotten 70 years, according to the days of one sovereign. At the end of 70 years it shall be to Sor as in the song of the whore. Verse 16, take a lyre, go about the city, you forgotten whore. Make sweet playing, singing many songs, so that you might be remembered. Verse 17, and at the end of 70 years, it shall be that Yahuwah visits Zor, and she shall return her harlot fee and commit whoring with all the rains of the earth on the face of the soil. Verse 18, and her goods and her harlot fee shall be set apart for Yahuwah, not treasured nor laid up for her gain is for those who dwell before Yahuwah to eat sufficiently and for a choice covering. Chapter 24, verse 1. See, Yahuwah is making the earth empty and making it waste, and shall overturn its surface, and shall scatter abroad its inhabitants. Verse 2, and it shall be as with the people, so with the priest, as with the servant, so with his master, as with the female servant, so with her mistress, as with the buyer, so with the seller, as with the lender, so with the borrower, as with the creditor, so with the debtor. Verse 3, the earth is completely emptied and utterly plundered, for Yahuwah has spoken this word. When this day, this may be the day of Yah. Verse 4, the earth shall mourn and wither, the world shall languish and wither, the haughty people of the earth shall languish. Verse 5, for the earth has been defiled under its inhabitants, because they have transgressed the Torah, changed the law, broken the everlasting covenant. They changed the law, broken the everlasting covenant. Does that sound familiar? Does that sound familiar of what we have today? People changing, people transgressing the Torah, which is the instructions of God, changing the laws of God, the spiritual laws of God, and breaking the everlasting covenants. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 24, verse 5. Verse 6. Therefore, a curse shall consume the earth, and those who dwell in it be punished. Therefore, the inhabitants of the earth shall be burnt, and few men shall be left. Verse 7. The new wine shall fail, the vine shall languish, all those glad at heart shall sigh, so there won't be nothing to drink. A whole lot of sighing going on. Verse 8, the joy of the tambourine shall cease. The noise of those who rejoice shall end. The joy of the lyre shall cease. No more musicians. No more music playing when the music stops. Verse 9, no more do they drink wine with a song. Yo, this ain't even funny. Like, I'm just saying, like, this is basically like, it doesn't get any more scarier than this for most people who live for drinking and listening to music. You know, I'm one who loves music. I'm a musician myself. Verse 9, no more do they drink wine with a song. Strong drink is bitter to those who drink it. So no more getting a shot at, you know, something strong. None of that. And being able to listen to your favorite song. No more getting a shot of something strong, being able to listen to your favorite song. It wouldn't be, it's not going to be any of that. Verse 10, the deserted city shall be broken down. Every house shall be shut. No one enters. Verse 11, there is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy shall be darkened. The gladness of the earth shall be gone. So people are going to be looking for their drink and can't get it. Verse 12, the city is left in ruins and the gate is stricken with destruction. And this is obviously talking about the day of Yah, the day of Yahuwah, the day of, you know, verse 13, for thus it is to be in the midst of the earth among the peoples, like the shaking of an olive tree, like the gleaning of grapes, when the grape harvest is done. Verse 14, they lift up their voice, they sing of the excellency of Yahuwah. They shall cry aloud from the sea. Verse 15, therefore praise Yahuwah in the east, the name of Yahuwah, Elohim of Yisrael, in the coastlands of the sea. Verse 16, from the ends of the earth we shall hear songs, splendor to the righteous one. But I say, I waste away, I waste away. Woe to me! The treacherous betray. With treachery, the treacherous betray. That was a bar, low key. Like I peep what the Most High did through Isaiah there. That was chapter 24, verse 16. Like he dropped the line off. I know what that intended to be. And I even left a note like, waste away, the treacherous betray. Verse 17, fear and the pit and the snare are upon. Fear and the snare. Fear and the pit and the snare are upon you, O inhabitants of the earth. So this is the earth. This is the earth. This ain't just area. This ain't just one nation. This is the earth experiencing what's being spoken in the book of Isaiah chapter 24. Verse 18, and it shall be that he who flees from the noise of the fear falls into the pit, and he who comes up from the midst of the pit is caught in the snare, in the trap. For the windows from on high shall be open, and the foundations of the earth be shaken. Verse 19, the earth shall be utterly broken. The earth shall be completely shattered. The earth shall be fiercely shaken. Could you imagine a shaking of the earth, man? Like, no one's prepared for that. No one. Verse 20, the earth shall stagger like a drunkard, and it shall totter like a hut, and its transgression shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. Verse 21, and in that day it shall be that Yahuwah punishes on high the host of exalted ones, and on the earth the sovereigns of the earth. Verse 22, and they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and shall be shut up in the prison, and be punished after many days. Verse 23, and the moon shall blush, and the sun shall be ashamed, for Yahuwah of hosts shall reign on the Mount Zion and in Jerusalem, and before his elders in esteem. It's interesting that he used the word elders, and it just made me think that these, are those who came before the Messiah, the only begotten Son. Verse 25, O Yahuwah, you are my Elohim. I exalt you, I praise your name. For you shall do a wonder, counsels of long ago, trustworthiness, truth. Verse 2, for you shall make a city a heap, a walled city a ruin, a palace of foreigners to be a city no more, never to be built, never to be rebuilt. Verse 3, therefore a strong people praise you. The city of the ruthless nations fear you. Verse 4, for you shall be a refuge to the poor, a refuge to the needy in his distress, a shelter from the storm, a shade from the heat. For the spirit of the ruthless is like a storm against a wall. Verse 5, you subdue the noise of foreigners, as heat in a dry place, as heat in the shadow of a cloud. The singing of the ruthless is subdued. Verse 6, and in this mountain Yahuwah of hosts shall make for all people a feast of choice pieces, a feast of old wines, of choice pieces with marrow, of old wines well refined. Verse 7, and he shall swallow up on his mountain the surface of the covering which covers all people, and the veil which is spread over all nations. Verse 8, he shall swallow up death forever, and the Master Yahuwah shall wipe away tears from all faces, and take away the reproach of his people from all the earth, for Yahuwah has spoken. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Verse 9, and it shall be said in that day, see, this is our Elohim. We have waited for him, and he saves us. This is Yahuwah. We have waited for him. Let us be glad and rejoice in his deliverance. Verse 10, for the hand of Yahuwah rests on this mountain, and Moab is trodden down under him, as straw is trodden down in the water of a dunghill. Verse 11, and he shall spread out his hands in their midst, as he who swims spreads out his hands to swim, and he shall bring down their pride together with the skill of his hands. It's the first time I actually noticed someone being described as swimming. You know, outside of Paul, not Paul, but Peter trying to, Peter falling into the water and needing help, and Jonah, in the water, being swallowed up by a fish. That's the closest thing to someone being in the water, but this was interesting to read. Verse 12, in the high stronghold of your walls he shall bring down, lay it low, level to the ground, down to the dust. So that was the book of Isaiah, chapters, I'm trying to remember where we started. Chapter 21. So that was chapters 21 to 25. Chapters 21 to 25. We just completed that Sabbath Torah reading for this weekend. Y'all willing, we're able to pick it up, do this again next weekend. Hallelujah, hallelujah, praise Yah, may all glory be to Yah, Yahuwah, Shabbawoth, Yahuwah, Almighty, Yahuwah, Most High, Yahuwah, El Shaddai. Thank you, Yahuwah, thank you, Yahusha, Yahushua HaMashiach. It was you, it was written, it was your words, it was documented. It was you who said that when 2 or 3 are gathered in your name, you are amongst us, you are in our midst, you are present. With that being said, Master Yahushua HaMashiach, I ask, since you are in our midst, that you help those who gather in your name heal from whatever it is we need healing from. Help those who gather and name loved ones heal from whatever it is they need healing from. Master Yahushua HaMashiach, son of Yah, since you are in our midst, I ask that you help those who are gathered in your name find comfort in whatever we need to find comfort in. Find comfort in whatever we need to find comfort from. I ask that you help those who are gathered in your name, loved ones, find comfort in whatever they need to find comfort in, and find comfort in whatever it is that they need to find comfort from. Master Yahushua HaMashiach, son of Yah, since you are in our midst, I ask that you help those who are gathered in your name repent, turn back to the instructions of your Father, the instructions of the Most High. Turn back to the lessons and the teachings of yours, the only begotten Son of the Most High Yah. Turn back to the examples and demonstrations of yours, the Most High, only begotten Son, the Messiah. Master Yahushua HaMashiach, son of Yah, HaMashiach, son of Yah. Since you are in our midst, I ask that you help us treat each other as we want to be treated. Have mercy on each other as we want to be shown mercy. Forgive each other as we want to be forgiven by you and your Father. Have compassion on each other as our Heavenly Father had compassion on us, as you had compassion on us. Master Yahushua HaMashiach, son of Yah, since you are in our midst, I ask that you help us be better. Help us love our enemies. Find it in our spirit. We can't find it in our flesh to do it. Help us find it in our true identity, which is the spirit within us, to love our enemies. Pray for those who hate us, who curses us. Do good for those who hate us. Let those borrow. Let those have what they've taken already. Let those, say what they say and do what they do. Love them anyway. Hate what they do. Love them. Hate what they do. Help us hate evil and love the people. Help us hate the evil and love the people. Let it be. Let it be. Shabbat shalom. Till next time, peace, love, Shabbat shalom, peace and love.